Hey everyone, how's it going? Let's talk about Enhancement Shaman. So tonight I took 5 different builds, 2 nature builds, 2 frost builds, and a fire build, went to Bastion, and hit 5 targets for 3 minutes with each of those builds, and I would like to show you the results. Alright, so our first spec is what I like to call the 3-button spec. This spec includes the buttons Crash Lightning, Storm Strike, and Chain Lightning, and that's it. So we drop our Wind Fury, and we will push Crash Lightning and Storm Strike to build Maelstrom up to 10, or as close to 10 as possible, and then we will push Chain Lightning. Doom Winds and Alpha Wolves we will push whenever they're up. They will help us generate Maelstrom and add quite a bit of damage too. If we get an Ascendance proc from Deeply Rooted Elements, we are just going to hit Storm Strike while that's up, because each Storm Strike or Wind Strike gives us a free 5 Maelstrom Chain Lightning. So skipping ahead to the end of this session, on the 3-button spec, we ended up with an overall of 141,000. Which isn't too bad. It's actually ass. That's why I showed it first. Alright, coming in at 4th place is a Hailstorm build with Elemental Spirits and Primordial Wave. So the goal of this build, of course, is to build up Maelstrom with Crash Lightning and Storm Strike, and to spend that Maelstrom on Chain Lightning. But after we push Chain Lightning, we're going to push Frost Shock. So it's kind of like the 3-button spec, except we have added a button after Chain Lightning. We will push Frost Shock every time. We have Elemental Spirits, so we want to make use of all of those elements. So we will always open a pull with Wolves, and then we will push Primordial Wave. Primordial Wave gives us an instant 10 Maelstrom and instant 20-second CDR on our Wolves. Then we will Lava Lash to spread all of our Flame Shocks, and then we will Lightning Bolt. That will be a massive amount of damage and 60% haste, since we cheated on the target on the left. Also, my number 5 key is Ice Strike. We will push that whenever it's up to buff the damage of our next AoE Frost Shock by 100%. So ending this specs session on the dummies, we come out at 158,000 damage per second over 3 minutes, which is actually not too bad. So coming in at 3rd place, we have an exact copy of the last build, except instead of Elemental Spirits, we will be using Alpha Wolf instead. So the same thing applies with the last build. Build Crash Lightning and Storm Strike. Spend on Chain Lightning with a Frost Shock immediately followed after, buffed with Ice Strike whenever possible. And of course you will open a pull with your Wolves into Primordial Wave, into Lava Lash, into Lightning Bolt. And then you will start your building and spending. So this build is going to end with 163,000 DPS overall. So the Alpha Wolves are a little bit more consistent with their damage, but there's the potential to be incredibly lucky with your elements if you were to take Elemental Spirits and do more than this. So our 2nd place build is backed to the 3-button spec, but instead of taking Deeply Rooted Elements and using Wind Strike as often as we can in that window, instead we are going to take Primordial Wave, and as well as spreading our Flame Shocks so we can get that big Lightning Bolt. So the build stays almost exactly the same. we build Maelstrom with Crash Lightning and with Storm Strike, and we spend on Chain Lightning. If there is time or we have a lull, we can also now push Lava Lash just to keep our Flame Shocks going. But since we're using Primordial Wave, of course we'll open the pool with Wolves first, Primordial Wave, Lava Lash, Lightning Bolt, and then go back to your building and spending. So our runner-up build finishes with 165,000 damage per second, 24,000 DPS ahead of the Ascendant's Deeply Rooted Elements variant. Honestly, if you're not playing Primordial Wave, you're not playing correctly. Alright, here we go. Best spec in the game. This is my favorite spec. This is the Fire spec. I played this all of Season 3 and 4, and I will play it Season 1 of Dragonflight also. So the goal of this build is, oh my god, double Frost Dog. That is tragic. This probably could have been more. So the goal of this build is to spread Flame Shocks and to Lava Lash up to 6 targets that have the Flame Shock. We can't have Flame Shock on more than 6 targets, but we can apply this Lashing Flames debuff to them that makes Flame Shock do 100% more damage. So, very dot heavy build. Very good build. We also want to be pushing Fire Nova on cooldown, and Wolves, of course. And we want to spend Maelstrom when we can on Chain Lightning and build that Maelstrom with Storm Strike, Crash Lightning, and Fire Nova. Of course, we will always go into a pool with Wolves, Primordial Wave, Lava Lash, and Lightning Bolt. Cheat on that 6th target, of course. And then we will continue with Tab Targeting and Lava Lashing. So, after what was honestly a very unlucky 3 minutes full of Frost Dogs and not very many hot hands, we ended the pull on 169,000 damage per second. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate your view, and I will see you next time. Bye.